Two families can live inside houses of the same size, with the same furniture, the same number of rooms, and almost the same daily routine. Yet one home feels heavy the moment you enter, while the other makes your shoulders relax before anyone even says a word. The difference is not always money, decoration, or having a perfect family. Very often, it comes from the small habits repeated inside the home every single day. The way people enter a room, the way they handle clutter, the way they speak during stressful moments, and even the way they end the day can quietly shape the emotional atmosphere of the entire house. Japanese homes are often admired for their simplicity, calmness, order, and sense of respect, but the real secret is not minimal furniture or beautiful design. It is the invisible discipline behind the visible peace. In this video, we will count down 7 Japanese habits that can completely change how your home feels, even when nothing expensive is added and no major renovation is made. Stay until number 1, because the final habit is the one that transforms a house from a place where people simply live into a place where they truly feel safe, connected, and at peace. Habit number 7, your front door decides the mood of your entire home. Have you ever noticed that some homes make you feel relaxed the moment you step inside, while others make you feel stressed before anyone even says a word? The surprising truth is that the feeling of a home often begins at the front door. In Japan, the entrance is far more than a place to leave your shoes. It is considered the invisible line between the chaos of the outside world and the peace waiting inside. The moment people cross that threshold, they are expected to leave behind not only dirt on their shoes, but also the emotional weight they have been carrying all day. Think about how many times you've walked into your house still replaying an argument from work, worrying about bills, feeling frustrated by traffic, or scrolling through stressful messages. Without realizing it, you carry those emotions straight into your living room, your kitchen, and your conversations with the people you love. Soon, everyone in the house begins to feel the tension, even if they don't know where it came from. Japanese families understand something powerful. Peace doesn't magically appear inside a home. It must be intentionally brought in. That is why many people develop a simple arrival ritual. Shoes are neatly removed, hands are washed, outdoor clothes are changed, bags are put away immediately instead of being dropped on the floor. And for just a few quiet seconds, they pause before speaking, allowing their mind to shift from surviving the outside world to appreciating the people waiting inside. These small actions may seem ordinary, but together they send a powerful message to the brain. The stress stays outside. This home is a place of peace. The entrance itself also reflects this mindset. Instead of becoming a dumping ground for shoes, boxes, shopping bags, and random clutter, it remains clean, open, and welcoming. The very first thing people see should create relief, not another reminder of unfinished tasks. Here's something most people never realize. The first 30 seconds after entering your home often determine the emotional tone of the next several hours. If you rush in carrying stress, your family feels it. If you enter with calm, respect, and intention, that calm quietly spreads throughout the house. You don't need a traditional Japanese home to practice this habit. All you need is one intentional ritual every time you come home. Pause, take one deep breath, put everything in its proper place, smile before you speak. Let your first words bring comfort instead of complaints. Because sometimes the biggest reason 2 identical houses feel completely different is simply the way people choose to enter them. Habit number 6. Stop letting clutter steal the peace from your home. Imagine walking into 2 homes that are exactly the same size. One instantly makes you breathe easier. It feels open, calm, and welcoming. The other makes you feel strangely tired, even though nothing dramatic is wrong. Clothes are lying on chairs, papers cover the table, kitchen counters are crowded, every corner seems to be asking for attention. Now here's the surprising part. Your brain notices all of that, even when you think you're ignoring it. Every pile of clutter silently whispers, you still have work to do. Every messy surface reminds your mind of unfinished tasks. Without realizing it, your home stops feeling like a place to recharge and starts feeling like another source of pressure. Japanese homes teach a completely different philosophy. Instead of filling every shelf, every wall, and every empty corner, they value something called space. Not because empty rooms look expensive, but because empty space gives the mind somewhere to rest. In Japan, peace is not created by adding more. It is often created by removing what no longer serves a purpose. That doesn't mean throwing away everything you own or living in a perfectly minimalist house. It means refusing to let unnecessary clutter control your emotions. Here's the habit that changes everything. Every single day, remove just one source of visual stress. Clear one table before going to bed. Fold the blanket instead of leaving it on the sofa. Put away the shoes near the door. Organize one drawer. Wash the dishes immediately after eating. Remove old magazines, broken items, or things you haven't touched in years. These actions may seem too small to matter, but here's what most people never realize. A peaceful home isn't built during one massive weekend cleaning session. It's built through hundreds of tiny decisions made every single day. Japanese families understand that maintaining peace is much easier than constantly trying to restore it. When clutter is removed regularly, cleaning becomes easier, stress becomes lighter, mornings become calmer. Even simple routines begin to feel less overwhelming because your surroundings are no longer competing for your attention. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to relax in a room filled with unfinished tasks? Now imagine sitting in a clean, open space where everything has room to breathe. Your heartbeat slows, your thoughts become clearer, conversations become gentler. The entire atmosphere changes, not because you bought new furniture, but because you removed the silent distractions that were stealing your peace. Remember, your home doesn't have to be perfect. It only needs to feel lighter today than it did yesterday. Because every item you remove from your space also removes a little weight from your mind, and over time, those small daily choices create a home that doesn't just look peaceful, it feels peaceful. Habit number 5, give everything a home, or your home will never feel peaceful. Have you ever spent 10 minutes searching for your keys only to find them exactly where you left them yesterday? Or walked through the house asking, "Where's the remote? Has anyone seen my charger? Who moved my wallet?" At first, these seem like small everyday problems. But over weeks, months, and years, they quietly become one of the biggest sources of stress inside a home. Japanese homes avoid this problem with one surprisingly simple habit. Everything has a place to return to. Not because people are obsessed with being organized, but because they understand something most of us overlook. A home feels peaceful when nothing is constantly looking for a place to belong. Think about it. When your keys don't have a home, they end up on the dining table one day, the kitchen counter the next, and inside a jacket pocket the day after that. The same happens with bags, mail, shoes, chargers, children's toys, paperwork, and even groceries. Little by little, every room becomes a temporary storage space instead of the peaceful place it was meant to be. And then something even worse begins to happen. Family members start blaming each other. Who moved my phone? Why did you leave this here? I just cleaned this yesterday. Arguments that seem to be about misplaced objects are rarely about the objects themselves. They're about the frustration that constant disorder creates. Japanese households solve this problem before it begins. Every commonly used item is given a permanent home. The keys always return to the same tray. Shoes always return to the same shelf. Bags always hang on the same hook. Remote controls return to the same basket. Documents stay in one organized folder. Cleaning supplies go back to the same cabinet after every use. Because when an object knows where it belongs, the people living in the home don't have to waste their energy searching for it. But this habit goes much deeper than organization. It teaches respect. When you return something to its proper place, you're quietly telling the next person, "I thought about you before I thought about myself." You're making life easier for your future self, your spouse, your children, or anyone else who shares the home. That single act says, "You won't have to clean up after me. You won't have to search because of me. I care about the peace we all live in." This is why Japanese homes often feel effortless. Not because people spend all day cleaning, but because they spend just a few extra seconds putting things back where they belong. Those few seconds prevent hours of frustration later. Here's a challenge you can start today. Walk through your home and ask yourself one simple question. Does every important object actually have a permanent home? If the answer is no, don't buy more storage boxes. Create a simple system. The easier it is to return something, the more likely everyone in the family will actually do it, because true organization isn't about having more shelves. It's about making the right choice, the easiest choice. And once every object has a place to return to, you'll discover something remarkable. Your family spends less time searching, less time arguing, less time feeling overwhelmed, and much more time simply enjoying the home you've worked so hard to build. Sometimes the difference between a stressful house and a peaceful one isn't having fewer things. It's making sure every single thing knows exactly where it belongs. Habit number 4. Clean the small mess before it becomes a heavy mood. Most homes do not become stressful because of one enormous mess. They become stressful because of dozens of tiny things that were ignored. A cup is left on the table because someone plans to move it later. A jacket is dropped on a chair. A wet sink is left for the next person. A blanket remains unfolded. One plate becomes 3 plates. 3 plates become a crowded kitchen, and suddenly a simple task feels exhausting. The mess grows slowly, but the frustration arrives all at once. Japanese households often follow a different rhythm. Instead of waiting until the home looks completely out of control, they deal with small disorder while it is still easy to manage. This means wiping the sink immediately after using it, folding the blanket before leaving the room, cleaning the dining table after the meal, putting away one item before taking out another, and leaving shared spaces ready for the next person. These actions take only a few seconds, yet they protect the emotional atmosphere of the entire home. Here is the deeper lesson. Mess is not only something you see, it is something you feel. An untidy room quietly reminds everyone that more work is waiting. A crowded kitchen makes cooking feel harder before it even begins. A messy living room makes rest feel incomplete because the eyes keep noticing unfinished tasks. When small messes are handled quickly, they never gain enough power to control the mood of the house. This is why cleaning should not always be treated like punishment. It does not have to begin with anger, loud complaints, or blaming the person who created the problem. In many peaceful Japanese homes, cleaning is simply woven into everyday movement. You finish drinking tea, so the cup returns to the kitchen. You stand up from the sofa, so the cushion is placed back. You use the bathroom, so the counter is left dry. You open a package, so the wrapping is removed immediately. Nothing dramatic happens, but the room remains calm because every action is completed before the next one begins. This habit also changes the way family members treat one another. When you leave the kitchen clean after using it, you are helping the person who enters next. When you prepare the living room before bedtime, you are making tomorrow morning easier. When you remove your own mess without being reminded, you are showing that the home is a shared responsibility, not someone else's burden. That is a quiet form of respect. Many families wait until the mess becomes unbearable. Then everyone is forced to clean while tired, irritated, and resentful. The task feels bigger because it has been allowed to collect not only dirt and clutter, but also emotional tension. Japanese wisdom teaches the opposite. Do a little while it is still little. Do not wait for the sink to overflow. Do not wait for every chair to disappear beneath clothes. Do not wait until the floor is covered and the room feels impossible. Take care of the first sign of disorder, and you prevent the heavy feeling that follows it. A useful rule is simple. Leave every shared space slightly better than you found it. You do not need to clean the entire room every time you enter. Straighten one object, remove one piece of rubbish, wipe one surface, return one item. These tiny acts spread through the home, and when every person participates, no one person feels crushed by the responsibility. This is how a house begins to feel cared for instead of merely used, because the secret of a consistently peaceful home is not that nobody ever creates a mess. It is that small messes are not allowed to become tomorrow's stress. Habit number 3, protect one daily moment where everyone is truly present. One of the biggest reasons a house loses its warmth is not because people stop loving one another. It is because they slowly stop being fully present with one another. Today, many families live under the same roof, eat at the same table, and sleep only a few steps apart, yet they spend very little time truly connecting. One person is checking emails. Another is scrolling through social media. Someone else is watching television. Children are playing games. Parents are thinking about tomorrow's responsibilities. Everyone is physically together, but mentally, everyone is somewhere else. This is one of the quietest problems of modern life. People don't usually remember the size of the television in their home. They don't remember what color the sofa was, but they always remember how the home made them feel. Did they feel noticed? Did they feel heard? Did they feel important? Or did they constantly feel like they were competing with screens, distractions, and busy schedules just to have a simple conversation? Japanese culture has long understood that a peaceful home is built through shared moments, not shared walls. That is why many Japanese families intentionally protect simple daily rituals. It might be eating dinner together without phones on the table. It might be enjoying evening tea while talking about the day. It might be spending a few quiet minutes together before everyone goes to sleep. These moments may appear ordinary from the outside, but inside the family, they become something priceless. They create connection. And connection is what transforms a house into a home. Here's something many people don't realize. Relationships rarely fall apart because of one huge argument. More often, they slowly weaken because thousands of small moments of connection never happen. Every time someone says, "I'm busy," every time a conversation is replaced with another scroll through the phone, every time eye contact is lost because a notification feels more important, the emotional distance grows a little wider. Japanese families often understand that giving someone your full attention is one of the greatest forms of respect. When someone speaks, they listen. When they eat together, they try to be present. When they spend time together, the goal isn't to impress each other, it's simply to be together. That feeling creates emotional safety. And emotional safety is something every home desperately needs. Think back to your childhood. The moments you treasure most were probably not the expensive vacations or expensive gifts. They were the simple evenings when everyone laughed together, the family meals, the conversations after dinner, the quiet mornings, the feeling that someone was genuinely happy you were there. Those moments stay in the heart for decades because human beings don't only need food and shelter, they need presence. Even 10 uninterrupted minutes each day can completely change the atmosphere inside a home. During those few minutes, put the phones away, turn the television off, forget about unfinished work, ask meaningful questions, listen without interrupting, laugh together, share something that happened during the day. Even silence shared with people who truly care about each other carries a special kind of peace. The beautiful part about this habit is that it costs absolutely nothing. You don't need a bigger house. You don't need expensive furniture. You don't need perfect relationships. You only need the willingness to say, for the next few minutes, nothing is more important than the people sitting beside me. Over time, these small daily moments become the emotional foundation of the entire home. Children grow up feeling valued because they were listened to. Partners feel appreciated because they were given undivided attention. Parents feel respected because someone still makes time for them. And even during difficult seasons of life, these simple rituals remind everyone that they are facing life's challenges together, not alone. This is why some homes feel incredibly warm the moment you walk through the door. It isn't because they have more luxury. It isn't because they have fewer problems. It's because the people inside have learned that the greatest gift they can give one another is not more money, not more possessions, but more of their genuine presence. Because in the end, a peaceful home is not built by the hours people spend under the same roof. It is built by the moments they spend fully present in each other's hearts. Habit number 2, lower the emotional noise inside your home. There is something many people never notice until they experience it. Some homes are noisy, even when nobody is speaking. The air feels tense. Doors close a little harder. Footsteps sound heavier. Conversations are rushed. People avoid eye contact. Everyone seems to be waiting for the next argument, the next complaint, or the next criticism. Then there are homes where people naturally lower their voices the moment they walk in. Even during busy days, the atmosphere feels lighter. You can almost feel the difference without anyone explaining it. What creates that difference? It isn't expensive furniture. It isn't a larger house. And it certainly isn't a family without problems. The biggest difference is the emotional volume of the people living inside it. Japanese culture places great importance on wa, the idea of preserving harmony in relationships. This doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist or hiding your emotions behind a smile. It means understanding that the way you express your emotions can either protect the peace of the home or slowly destroy it. Think about how often stress travels from one person to another. Someone has a difficult day at work. They come home already frustrated. A simple question from their spouse suddenly sounds annoying. A child accidentally spills a drink. Someone forgets to put something away. None of these situations are serious on their own. But because one person's emotional state was never calmed, the entire house begins carrying the weight of that frustration. Within minutes, everyone feels tense. The children become quieter. Conversations become shorter. The evening that could have been peaceful slowly turns into another stressful night. This is why Japanese families often understand an important truth. Before you speak to your family, first calm the storm inside yourself. Not every emotion deserves an immediate reaction. Not every mistake deserves a loud response. Not every disagreement needs to become a battle. Sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who chooses to pause before speaking. Imagine someone accidentally breaks your favorite mug. You have two choices. You can immediately raise your voice, making everyone in the house feel nervous for the rest of the evening. Or you can take one deep breath, remember that the mug can be replaced but the person's dignity cannot, and respond with calmness. The event stays exactly the same, but the emotional memory becomes completely different. Japanese wisdom reminds us that harmony is protected through thousands of small moments like these. Another powerful habit is learning to solve problems quietly instead of emotionally. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, do I want to solve this, or do I simply want to release my frustration? Those are two completely different goals. Many people believe shouting proves strength. In reality, shouting often proves that emotions have taken control. True strength is remaining respectful, even when you're disappointed. True maturity is correcting someone without humiliating them. True peace is choosing words that heal instead of words that leave invisible scars. The tone of your voice is just as important as the words you choose. You can say, "Please be more careful next time." Or you can say the exact same sentence with anger, sarcasm, and disappointment. One builds trust. The other builds fear. Children especially remember tone far longer than they remember words. Years later, they may not remember exactly what was said, but they will always remember how safe or unsafe they felt inside their own home. This habit also includes reducing unnecessary background noise. Many homes today are never truly quiet. The television is always running. Videos play loudly from phones. People shout from one room to another instead of walking over. Doors slam, cabinets bang shut. Notifications constantly interrupt conversations. Without realizing it, the nervous system never gets a chance to relax. Japanese homes often value moments of gentle silence. Not because silence is empty, but because silence allows the heart to rest. It gives family members space to think, breathe, and appreciate one another without constant stimulation. A peaceful home is not one where nobody laughs loudly or children never play. Joyful sounds are part of a happy family. The difference is that unnecessary noise doesn't control the atmosphere. People become more mindful of how their actions affect everyone else. Imagine finishing every evening in a home where people speak with patience instead of pressure, where mistakes are corrected without humiliation, where disagreements end with understanding instead of resentment, where children are not afraid to make honest mistakes, where every family member feels emotionally safe simply because they know they will be treated with respect. That kind of home doesn't happen by accident. It is created every single day by people who understand one simple truth. The loudest thing inside a house should never be anger, because walls can protect your body from the outside world, but only kindness, patience, and gentle words can make the people inside feel truly at home. And when the emotional noise begins to disappear, something beautiful takes its place. Laughter becomes more genuine. Conversations become deeper. Trust grows stronger. The house feels lighter. And without changing a single piece of furniture, the entire home begins to feel completely different. Habit number 1. Make every person feel like they belong before you make the house look beautiful. What is the first thing people remember after visiting a home? It isn't the expensive furniture. It isn't the size of the television. It isn't the beautiful kitchen or the carefully chosen decorations. Days later, they rarely remember those things. What they remember is how the home made them feel. Did they feel welcomed? Did they feel respected? Did they feel comfortable enough to be themselves? Or did they feel like they couldn't relax because the atmosphere was cold, tense, or emotionally distant. This is the greatest secret behind many peaceful Japanese homes. They understand that the true beauty of a home is not found in its walls, it is found in the way people treat one another inside those walls. You can have the most beautiful house in the neighborhood, but if people are afraid to speak, afraid to make mistakes, afraid of criticism, or afraid they don't belong, then the house is simply a building. A real home is something completely different. It is a place where people feel emotionally safe. In Japan, one of the deepest cultural values is consideration for others. It appears in countless small actions that most people hardly notice. Someone quietly refills the water pitcher after pouring the last glass. Someone straightens the cushions before leaving the room. Someone notices another family member looks tired and offers to help without being asked. Someone prepares tomorrow's breakfast ingredients before going to bed so the morning is easier for everyone. Someone remembers another person's favorite tea. Someone quietly closes a door so others can continue sleeping peacefully. None of these actions are dramatic. No one applauds them. No one posts them on social media. Yet these tiny acts slowly build something far more valuable than a perfectly decorated home. They build trust. They build comfort. They build the feeling that I matter here. And every human being longs for that feeling. Think about your favorite place in the world. Chances are it isn't your favorite because of the furniture. It's your favorite because of how people treated you there. The same is true for every member of your family. Children don't simply remember what parents bought for them. They remember who listened when they were scared. They remember who hugged them after they failed. They remember who smiled when they entered the room. Your spouse won't always remember every gift, but they'll remember whether they felt appreciated after a long day. Your parents won't remember every conversation, but they'll remember whether someone still made time to sit beside them. People rarely forget how you made them feel. That's why the strongest homes aren't built with expensive materials. They're built with everyday kindness. Japanese families often understand something that modern life has almost forgotten. Love isn't proven only during life's biggest moments. It is proven during the smallest ones. It's saying thank you even for ordinary things. It's apologizing quickly instead of protecting your ego. It's listening without reaching for your phone. It's asking, "How was your day?" and actually waiting for the answer. It's noticing that someone is unusually quiet and gently asking if they're okay. It's serving food to others before serving yourself. It's leaving the bathroom clean for the next person. It's replacing the empty roll instead of pretending you didn't notice. It's making tea for someone without being asked. It's remembering birthdays, favorite meals, little preferences, and difficult days. These moments may seem too small to change a home, but together, they change everything. Here's something remarkable. Every person who enters your home carries invisible burdens. Your spouse may be hiding worries they haven't spoken about. Your children may be fighting battles at school you know nothing about. Your parents may be carrying loneliness without ever admitting it. Even you probably carry fears that no one else can see. Now imagine walking into a house where someone smiles because you're home, where someone asks how you're doing and genuinely listens, where mistakes are forgiven, where effort is appreciated, where people say thank you more often than they complain, where respect is given freely, not earned through perfection. Wouldn't you want to return to that home every single day? That is exactly what this habit creates. A home should become the safest place in a person's life, not another place where they have to prove themselves, not another place where they're constantly judged, not another place where they're afraid of disappointing someone. The outside world already gives people enough pressure. Your home should become the place where that pressure finally disappears. This is why Japanese wisdom teaches that consideration is not weakness. It is one of the highest forms of strength, because anyone can be kind when life is easy, but choosing patience when you're tired, choosing gratitude when you're busy, choosing gentleness when you're frustrated, choosing understanding when you're disappointed, that is real strength. And here's the most beautiful part. Kindness inside a home is contagious. When one person begins saying thank you more often, others naturally begin doing the same. When one person starts putting things away without being asked, others notice. When one person stops raising their voice, the entire emotional atmosphere begins to soften. One act of consideration inspires another, then another, until eventually everyone begins protecting the peace instead of accidentally destroying it. This is how ordinary families become extraordinary, not because they never argue, not because life is perfect, but because every member chooses again and again to make life a little easier for everyone else. So before buying new furniture, before repainting the walls, before searching for another decorating idea, ask yourself one simple question. When someone walks into my home, do they feel loved before they notice anything else? Because years from now, your children won't remember the color of the walls. Your guests won't remember where every chair was placed. Your family won't remember how expensive the decorations were, but they will remember how peaceful it felt to walk through your front door. They will remember the laughter around the dinner table, the calm conversations, the quiet evenings, the feeling that they were accepted exactly as they were. That is the greatest gift any home can offer. Because in the end, a beautiful house impresses people for a few minutes, but a home filled with kindness, respect, gratitude, and genuine love stays in people's hearts for a lifetime. And that is the one Japanese habit that changes everything. So, what was the real difference between the two houses we talked about at the beginning? It wasn't the size of the rooms, it wasn't expensive furniture, it wasn't perfect decoration, and it certainly wasn't luck. The difference was the habits quietly practiced inside those walls every single day. A peaceful home is never built overnight. It is built every morning when someone chooses patience over anger. It is built every afternoon when someone puts things back where they belong, instead of saying, "I'll do it later." It is built every evening when a family chooses conversation over distraction, gratitude over complaints, and kindness over criticism. These small moments may seem insignificant today, but together they shape the emotional atmosphere that everyone feels the moment they walk through your front door. Remember, your children may never remember the brand of your sofa. Your guests may never remember the color of your walls, but they will always remember how your home made them feel. Did it make them feel calm? Did it make them feel welcomed? Did it make them feel loved? Because in the end, people don't fall in love with beautiful houses. They fall in love with beautiful feelings. And those feelings are created by the choices you make every single day. So don't wait until you can afford a bigger house. Don't wait until everything in life is perfect. Don't wait for the right time to create peace. Start today. When you walk through your front door, leave the stress outside. Clear one small space. Return one thing to its place. Speak one gentle sentence instead of one harsh one. Give one family member your complete attention. Do one act of kindness without expecting anything in return. These habits may seem small, but one day you'll look around your home and realize something extraordinary has happened. The same walls, the same furniture, the same people, yet everything feels different. Because when the habits change, the atmosphere changes. When the atmosphere changes, relationships change. And when relationships change, an ordinary house becomes the kind of home people never want to leave and always long to return to. If this video inspired you, let us know in the comments. Which of these 7 Japanese habits are you going to start today? Your answer might inspire someone else to transform their home as well. And if you enjoy discovering timeless Japanese wisdom that brings more peace, happiness, and purpose into everyday life, make sure to subscribe and join us for our next journey. Until next time, take care of your home, take care of the people inside it, because the greatest luxury in life is not living in a beautiful house. It's coming home to a beautiful feeling.